Hello and welcome to our Kindness Resource Fair. My name is Sarah Bazemore. I'm the School Counseling Specialist at the Virginia Department of Education, and I am thrilled to have Kristen America join us right now. She is a middle school counselor at Lake Ridge Middle School in Prince William County, and she is going to share with us about her Post-it Positives initiative. So without further ado, Kristen, the virtual floor is all yours.
Hello. Again, my name is Kristen America. I'm the counseling director here at Lake Ridge Middle in Prince William County, and I wanted to share an activity that I've done in previous years that we're hoping to be able to bring into the virtual world this year with the things that we have that are going on. But it's called Post-it Positives, and it's pretty simple. So we wanted to give students an opportunity to post their positives and put them on display for students. So they can post positives about themselves. They can post positives about friends. They can post things anonymously. They can just fill out a simple Post-it note, and we create a big mural. Last year at my school, when we did this, we actually utilized the lunchroom so students could do it during their lunch shifts. Of course, I screen all of those things that get, put up before we put them up on the wall. I make sure that everything's appropriate and everything's being positive. But we had over 2,000 Post-its in a 2-day period, and the kids loved it. And when we had to take them down, everybody was really sad about it. And they're like, can I have mine back? Or can I have the one that my friend wrote about me? So it ended up being a really cool experience for the kids. And it's fairly simple, other than having to monitor and provide the Post-it notes, the activity kind of takes off for itself. So we are looking at being able to bring it into the virtual world this year using Padlet. Prince William County has an account with Padlet, and so we're able to utilize that. And we've used it for a few other things, and we're having really great participation with students using that resource. And again, you can set it so you can screen it. It's not that hard. I can see what it is before it posts for everybody to see, and the kids are interactive and really enjoying that.
I love that. That's a great way to bring it into the virtual world and keep that tradition going, because I'm sure students would be sad if they weren't able to do this, if it's something they've done in the past. It sounds like a really simple but impactful way to spread kindness. And I'm sorry, did you say 2,000?
We had over 2,000. Yeah, I actually had to run out to buy more Post-its because we weren't anticipating the first time I did this that we were going to have this level of participation.
Wow.
Middle schoolers are kind of hit or miss, but they were really excited about it. And it was even, it was cool to see those kids that maybe wouldn't normally speak up and say something. And they were even interested in, making sure they got to post a positive on the wall. So it was
That is really cool. How did you introduce this to students? Like, what was the way that you kind of explained it to them and got them excited?
So we actually did it last year during our Kindness Week as an initiative. It was one of our activities. We had an activity where we wanted to share positives was a challenge for the day. So we had introduced it that way. And because we had such success that first day, we ended up taking it into a second day to make sure everyone had the ability to be able to post their positive.
So did you introduce it to them? Like, did you go into every classroom? Did you do it over the morning announcements? Did you have teachers explain it? How did you actually disseminate that information?
So we had it on the morning announcements. We had students introducing the challenges each day. So that challenge was, when you get to lunch today, you're going to have the opportunity to complete a Post-it note. Here's kind of the rules, which was, you can say something positive about yourself or something positive about another student. And it was going to be displayed in the cafeteria for all students to look at.
And I know on Padlet, I think you said this already, so I apologize for being redundant, but there is that ability where you can do you can almost, I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a security setting where you can filter and screen all the posts before they go up. So that, I think that would be something to make sure. Obviously, you've thought about this, but as folks are considering maybe bringing it to the virtual or making sure that setting is on so that you can screen things before they are posted on Padlet. Padlet is such a simple thing to use. It shouldn't be difficult to figure out that setting. When you did it in person, did you just have the Post-it notes like spread out around the cafeteria? Did you have them on one table where students came up? How did you do that?
So of course it was a learning process. So the first lunch shift, we had one little small table thinking, we maybe have a few students that are going to participate. We quickly figured out that we were going to have lots of participation. So we ended up setting up 4 different areas in the cafeteria. And then I actually ended up dismissing by cafeteria table rows. Like, okay, we can now take this next group of students if you want to come and post it. So it was one of those things where we were thinking, oh, we'll have a little bit of participation, and it took off and kids loved it. So we had to kind of develop and adjust throughout our lunch shifts.
Sounds like an awesome problem to have, for sure. I love it. So eventually you ended up having, just here, making sure I heard you correctly. You actually said like, okay, table, whatever, can get up and come and okay.
Yeah, just
Awesome.
to kind of help control and not have, the 50 students at one time trying to complete the post-its.
Mhm.
So we just kind
And
of spread it out a little bit more, gave people a little bit more room. And then of course they could all still, I did again as a safeguard, they had to show me their post-it before they could post it on the wall. So that also did open the door that sometimes I could have that conversation with a student, like, do we really think that's a positive that we should be sharing? Or do we really think that's the best thing to be posting on the wall? I will be honest and say, sometimes we worry with middle schoolers that they're going to post things that they shouldn't. I maybe had 4 or 5 students that I maybe had to have a conversation with. But again, I take that as a learning opportunity, and that kind of opened a door to have a conversation with a student. And most of them quickly corrected it, and we were able to keep it moving. So it was a
that's
good
great. That's great. Uh, before we close this out, is there anything, any tips, tricks, or additional thoughts you want to add for anyone who's considering doing this with their students?
So just again, I think the cool thing about this is it's fairly simple. You don't need a whole lot of materials. It doesn't cost a whole lot of money. So it's easy to make this happen. If we're doing it in a virtual world, again, I definitely would set the authorization filter so that that things aren't being posted that maybe shouldn't be posted. We're looking at being able to do it. We have an advisory period even in the virtual world. So we will share this activity through advisory. So we're not taking away instructional time. I'm lucky enough to work with a staff that's super supportive, and I know that they're going to incorporate this. But it's just thinking about those little things. I have used a Padlet for several of our activities already, and we're getting great participation. And while it seems like it might be difficult to approve all of these posts, it really doesn't take that much time, and the kids seem to really enjoy it. So I would highly encourage, if it's something that you can work in, whether it's during Kindness Week or some other initiative throughout the year, this is an easy one. So, and the kids enjoy it.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Kristen, for sharing all of this. I think it's a great idea. And like you said, it's simple but impactful, which those are the best kind.
Well, thank you for giving me the opportunity to share it.
Absolutely.